Welcome to the best debate in the universe. Every debate in the universe, from pineapple on pizzas to punching Nazis. With over 2 million downloads, I'm your host, Maddox. With me is Mikey Bolts, the audio engineer.
It is time.
And with me, as always, is Rucka Rucka,
Hey.
my first hand-on-staff moderator.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show. Guys, we got a great show today. Today, we're going to discuss the best action movie hero of all time. The best action movie star. And later in the show, we'll have some quick news headlines, as always. But first, please, welcome to the show our guest this week, the incredible professional wrestler from Lucha Underground, ex-WWE star, and star of the new movie, Boone, the Bounty Hunter. It's an honor to welcome to the show, John Morrison. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me. A lot of people call me names like John Morrison, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Nitro,
Mundo.
Johnny Blade.
Yeah.
But hopefully now people will remember me as Boone from Boone the Bounty Hunter. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do yourself a favor, Boone yourself right now, and we'll tell you how later.
Now, John, I gotta say congratulations, because the trailer alone already has 500,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that I've been talking about, and you know this because I've told you about it over the years, for 4 or 5 years. And it's awesome for me to have this project done and released. It's available now on iTunes, Amazon, Vudu, Vimeo, Google Play, and Xbox, and it's going to come out on DVD at Walmart June 6th. But the response that I'm getting from people who've watched this movie is ranging from people who say it's the best movie that they've ever seen. That was my mom. From a lot of people, wrestling fans and action movie fans, who've said they've genuinely enjoyed the movie. And I've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tanner into this movie, so it's really good to hear that.
Yeah, it's incredible. And I'm getting just a lot of fan feedback, too. When I posted that you were going to come on the show, so many people chimed in. They said they've seen the movie, they loved it. Congratulations. You're doing screenings around the country, right?
Yeah, we've hit Chicago, Los Angeles, Davis, California. The next one is May 25th in Seattle, and we're going to debut a new Boone the Bounty Hunter t-shirt to the first 20 people who show up to that screening on May 25th. So be there. I'm going to host the screening, do a live Q&A, and give y'all some free t-shirts.
Oh, hell yeah, man. That's going to be awesome. So that's all our Seattle listeners, be there.
Yeah, those free t-shirts work. I'm telling you, bring people out in droves, right?
I'm hopefully dozens and dozens.
You'll
you know
see.
what I'm talking?
You'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Just make sure that you don't promise any Australians any free t-shirts, because it's a pain in the ass to ship to Australia.
Yeah.
Although,
well, that's why I'm saying in person, we're going to give you the shirts in person if you come to the screening.
Yeah. Hey,
so Australians welcome.
Any of our Australian listeners, if you do happen to meet me in person, I will give you a free t-shirt. There you go. There you go. All right? I put it out there.
It's out there.
There's a real fucking free t-shirt offer.
Yeah.
Rucka roped me into some bullshit a long time ago.
Extending the olive branch of Australian friendship. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, John, you've had this incredible body of work, but one of my favorite things I've ever seen of yours is this GIF I saw. You were at a wrestling event, and there was a little dog going to give you a high five, and you denied it. you put your hand back up and brushed your hair like you're too cool.
I hit the dog with the old school Ric Flair, like the.
I'm gonna post this on the website, but it's the funniest fucking thing. I saw it and I watched it probably for a good minute on loop.
Why is it so satisfying to heel on a little cute dog? I don't know.
Because nobody expects it. Yeah, first of all, it's a dog, and everyone's like, oh, he's gonna high five a dog. First of all, the dog doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
No, the dog was completely fooled.
Yeah.
Got that thing.
Yeah. The same animal where you can pretend to throw a tennis ball and put it behind your back. The dog just where'd the ball go?
Yeah.
These are not smart animals, guys. You guys keep telling me the dogs are so smart. Look, they're smarter than worms, right?
They're loyal. You can't say they're not loyal.
They're super loyal.
Yeah, they're very loyal.
But you also have to feed them.
And pick up the poop.
You know where I've seen John before?
Where's that?
He was in the roast battle at the Comedy Store once. They do this thing once a week, the roast battle.
Yeah.
And he was up against another comic, and one of the judges, obviously a comedian too, he kind of tried roasting John between rounds, kind of like, look, I don't even, who the fuck are you? I never even heard of you. And John goes, wrestlers perform on TV in front of millions. Comedians perform here? I've never heard of you either. And it was the most memorable moment of the whole night for me, because it was for once, someone was just turning it around on the comedy community and just pointing out to them how fucking in their own bubble they live.
Yeah, when you
I'd also abandoned trying to win by that point.
You won at that moment. You fucking won.
Oh, yeah.
You won the battle.
As long as you don't care who wins, according to the judges, I think you win, everybody wins.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you won at life.
stand-up comics, I feel like, are so,
compared to that guy, for sure.
they're so territorial. I feel, especially if you happen to strike success in any form and you haven't quote paid your dues. Oh, they throw you to the wolves. They're so pissed off. They're so angry. They're the most bitter people. So because their lives are miserable a lot of times, and they have like slept in their cars and driven hours for like a $20 gig, and they're really pissed off. So anytime they sense success for that comes from outside their little bubble, they're
quick to piss on it, right?
Yeah, they're quick to piss on it. Yeah,
they'll piss on your cornflakes like that.
They hate the internet. They hate social media,
Yeah.
and like I get it. Like I realize not every Viner out there deserves stage time. To headline it. Like I get that part too, but at the same time, like there's a lot of comedy on the internet now. It's like the world has changed. It's not 1983, okay? Like the world has changed. People get comedy on the internet, and like, I don't even give a shit because no comedian is even going to hear me say this. Like, you know how people say, "Oh, we're behind a paywall. We're behind a fucking firewall. We're on the internet." Like no comedian knows how to access this podcast.
Do you have to pay for this podcast?
No, it's just behind. It's on the internet. It's behind.
There's no way a comedian's going to pay for this.
You need Wi-Fi to hear.
You don't make enough money.
So, John, when I was doing research today, I found out that you studied geology in college.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Why?
Because he's a rock.
Because he's a rock.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
Oh, yeah. We've seen Indiana Jones.
So, for some reason, when I got to college at UC Davis, I thought that studying geology would be kind of like being Indiana Jones. Mineral exploration, traveling the world, finding gold mines and mountains and artifacts and things. And I did 3 years of geology, made it through chemistry, mineralogy, advanced calculus, and structural geology, and realized that that's not what geologists do. You have to do a lot of tedious observation work and then integrate that into using chemistry and physics and calculus to calculate how deep you have to dig to put someone's pool in their backyard.
Yep, regression models and politics. Once you get to the point where you're going to be, digging for power companies. That's actually one of my friends studied, I think, geology in college, and that's what he ended up doing is working for a power company, so he could,
And it's a good living. It's good stuff too. It's just I don't know. Like all my dreams have been kind of ridiculous.
But John, so I want the listeners to really think back on what John just said, because he has this rigorous academic background. John is like one of the smartest people I've ever known. I'm not blowing sunshine up your ass, but the calculus background, the all the academia that you've had.
Well, a lot of people say geology is rocks for jocks. Absolutely not. That's also untrue.
Well, I've got some questions from the fans on Facebook. Justin Wright asks, "How do I keep my neighbor's dumbass cats out of my yard?" Any tips for Justin?
Get a dog.
Get a dog.
Simple.
There you go. Anthony Preston says Boone was fucking awesome.
Anthony Preston, thank you.
Yeah. There you go. You got a ding.
I'm getting used to these sound effects now.
Yeah, we're doing the sound effects in Madcast. And then we got Larry Bundy. I was in one of his videos recently. He says, "What did John think of his ultra buffed persona in WWE All-Stars?" Did you have any input on that?
WWE All-Stars was one of my favorite wrestling video games because the characters were a little bit less lifelike and more cartoonish.
Yeah.
And everybody, instead of just hitting a power bomb, I mean, you got, first of all, current superstars mixed with legends like Hogan, Macho Man, Andre the Giant, and all those guys are doing corkscrew, Zangief from Street Fighter type moves off the top rope, and I always like that with video games.
Yeah,
it's a little bit, it's larger than life, which is what I think wrestling should be.
Right.
Also, in the celebrity or the current and past Dream Battle in that THQ All Stars game, it was me versus Macho Man Randy Savage. And they released a 2-pack with me and Macho Man, and it's my favorite wrestling action figure that's ever come out.
Oh, really? That's amazing. Well, we have this is a big treat I want to mention, but later in the show we do have the Macho Man calling in to leave a voicemail posthumously.
Ooh,
posthumously,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But,
okay, good. Looking forward to that.
Brock Baker asks, "What's it like working with Jonathan Lipnicki?" So for those of you who don't know, Jonathan Lipnicki was the kid from Jerry Maguire.
Like Mike.
Yeah.
So Brock, The very first day I worked with Jonathan Lipnicki on set, it was the first scene up after I just met him on the day. I had to carry him up a hill, hit him with an airplane spin, and then an FU, if you know what that is, Tommy Dreamer's move, the Death Valley driver that Cena does now, onto the dirt. Zero complaints. Super nice guy. Super good sense of humor about everything. And one more funny anecdote about Jonathan. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu.
No,
which is actually a pretty difficult belt to earn. A buddy of mine is a Golden Gloves boxing champion in Muay Thai. Like I had a couple of pro fights in Muay Thai, and he trains at the same gym that Jonathan does. And he called me like randomly like one night, and all he said was, "Dude, I just got tapped out by the kid from Jerry Maguire."
Oh man, that's fantastic. Jonathan Lipnicki will kick your ass.
Oh yeah.
That kid's buff now.
Yeah. He's training like a beast.
Yeah.
He's hitting.
Did you do this to him?
I'd like to take credit for it, but I don't think so.
You know what, guys? If no one will take credit, I'll do it. It was my fault.
Maddox. Yeah.
Ronald Requeo asks, who's your favorite wrestler of all time? Which wrestler would you fight with or against from any period of time? And last thing, please say hello to all your fans here in Peru, freaking South America. There you go.
Yo, Peru.
Ronald.
Que pedo, amigos? Soy el chingón, Sisimo.
I think they
Johnny
speak.
Mundo.
I think they speak French in Peru.
No.
I've heard
Do
that.
they?
I think that's a bad rumor. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
If you're living in Peru or South America, I'm going to be in Chile on June 4th, wrestling Alberto El Patron. It's just a short drive from Peru, I believe, maybe 20 hours. Something
Oh,
like
hell
that.
yeah, dude. What's that, a day if you don't stop?
Yeah.
Do it. Do it, pussies. All right, so yeah, who's your favorite wrestler? Mhm.
Favorite wrestler of all time? Johnny Nitro.
Yeah, right answer.
If I could wrestle any wrestler past or present, I would put Johnny Mundo versus John Morrison, just because it'd be fascinating. And the true winner would be the fans.
Fantastic answer.
I've had that question before.
Oh, okay, good. And then we got one last one. Abbas Blaze Wally says, have you ever considered wrestling in Japan?
I would love to. I'm currently the champion of a promotion called AAA in Mexico. It's the biggest promotion in Mexico. And for people who are fans of wrestling but not super familiar with the business of it, AAA is enemies with CMLL, which is the other main promotion in Mexico. CMLL is partners with New Japan, which is the biggest promotion in Japan. So because I'm a champion of AAA, I'm actually the first foreign triple champion of AAA.
Yeah.
So triple.
You made history.
I've got all three of their championship belts right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm not allowed to go to New Japan because of the alliances and the infrastructure of this pro wrestling world. But New Japan and Wrestle Kingdom is on my bucket list of wrestling promotions and shows that I would like to do.
Wow, fantastic. All right, you heard it here first, guys. Hey, I got a big announcement to make, guys. This week, the Super Podcast Champion competition is finally going live.
Aw, shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Super Podcast Champion Edition Turbo.
We have two great new podcasts coming up against each other. The first one is a podcast from Philadelphia called Cuddle Pile, where two fat guys named Justin and Tony talk about movies and video games. And they're up against another podcast called Super Arrogant Brothers with Mitch and Dirk, who are friends with our very own Jesse P.S. from Pod Awful. That's a fact. Yeah, exciting stuff, guys. Finally happening, finally coming this week.
Finally happening.
Can you explain what happens with this podcast thing? Because like, we have these guys in the same room.
No, they're going to go up against each other. They're going to be in the same block together. I think I'm going to create a separate feed just for this competition show, so you can listen to both of them back to back. I'll put a timestamp in case you want to skip from one to the other. I'll rotate them from week to week, and the fans vote on which podcast they like the best. And the best one who wins 4 times in a row has a shot at being a permanent show on this network.
Oh,
They have a shot.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
A shot.
Well, I don't want to, because,
You don't want to promise them a spot on your network, and then what if
smart.
it turns out they suck after all?
Right.
Yeah,
or
you meet them in person, they have BO, or I don't know, who knows?
Yeah, look, the bottom line is you like to work with people who you like to work with. You like to work with people who have good personalities, good attitudes,
Right.
Good work ethic. A podcast worth listening to is a lot of work. It takes research. It takes preparation. I highly encourage editing.
Something I'm very familiar with, post-production.
Post-production,
That takes a lot longer than anyone realizes.
It absolutely does. I mean, Mikey and I put so many hours into making this podcast sound incredible. We really do master every track, all the sound effects. We make sure that they work. Now we're doing video on the website as well. So it's a lot of work. And you guys can see John Morrison on YouTube. I'm going to post this video, the podcast.
Mugging for the camera currently.
Yeah. All you John Morrison fans joining us for the first time, if you think what he does is badass in the ring, wait till you hear the Podcast Champion Edition Turbo coming to you soon, right? It's coming soon.
Well, look, we're just talking about heavyweight champions in this show. But yeah, the podcast competition's finally happening. It took a little delay because I was finishing up my book, which is now done.
Where can we get this book?
It's going to be in stores everywhere. It's on Amazon right now. You can order it at Amazon.com. It's called Fuck Whales.
Yeah.
And I was telling John before the show, it's fuck whales, fuck poetry.
What kind of whales are you talking about fucking?
Oh, you name it, buddy. You name a whale.
Any specific? Okay,
Just
gotcha.
gonna fuck any whale hole that exists.
He's not cool with whales.
No.
I love it.
No.
It's actually
I have no chill with whales.
It's a term for very large men in West Hollywood.
Oh,
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
No, that's a bear.
That's a bear.
Yeah, it is.
And he's
Hairy.
Hairy
bear.
Yeah.
Maddox, can I get the censored book for my mother?
The book
anything
censored?
Ooh, the censored
Yeah.
copy would be nice.
Censored copy.
You know, the
And then sign
cover.
it.
The cover is censored. It does have an asterisk on it.
Yeah, but she's gonna read it.
Yeah,
and that's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this may be the most perfect gift for mothers.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say
Really?
completely honestly.
Well, I mean, we just blew it. I mean, Mother's Day just passed.
Well,
right?
the book comes out in October. You get it then. You're already halfway to the next Mother's
You
Day.
can probably highlight some specific passages that you want your mom to read and
There you go.
then discuss later at dinner.
I mean, there's some of the chapters are fuck families, fuck poetry,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
fuck abstractions, fuck
the poetry thing. I don't know.
yeah, no,
We'll have to come back and debate that later.
okay, we will debate
Because
it.
I have my own specific thoughts about poetry.
Okay, I would love to
You
hear
said
them.
fuck abstractions.
Fuck abstractions.
That itself is an abstraction.
Nope.
It's a specific thought about abstractions.
Why whales though, Maddox?
Why whales? What has a whale done for you, Mikey?
Nothing. But
Jack shit.
I want to know what it did to you. I want to know what
Yeah.
the whales did to you.
Waste my fucking time. How about that?
shit.
They smell.
Never
They
smelled
they
one.
smell. Whales smell, dude.
When did you smell a whale?
Every time you go to the ocean fucking stinks because of whales.
Oh,
I
They're
don't
the
know.
biggest. Yeah.
those whales aren't gonna watch themselves.
Think about
Matt.
all the whales that have been captured and made into coats and lantern
Yeah.
light and stuff. It's like
all
the
that.
foundation of humanity. All those whales.
Yes.
I wish I would wear a whale. I would definitely.
Would you?
Yeah. I
But
mean,
it would
if
be a
someone-
really stinky jacket.
Well,
love my
you-
blubber
I mean, if it
coat.
was
have
like
to
treated leather
yeah,
or something.
Treat it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
PETA would not be happy.
No, don't care. And then, anyway, guys, that's enough. Wait, how do we get into this to being a book plug for me? Anyway, moving on.
Johnny Mundo's all about plugging stuff. You know, the mayor of Slamtowns knows how to plug some books and movies and things.
Hey, speaking of plugs, though, I do want to have a special shout out to another show on our network called Game Fart, because this last week they did a manly video game episode and they paid homage to the Best Debate intro on their show. It's worth checking out.
I hope Game Fart has a soundboard of farts. Is that,
They do.
Oh,
Actually,
they do?
so
Okay, awesome.
so Lord Matthew developed this, the soundboard that
Lord
you're
Matthew
using
was
now.
the guy from Game Fart?
Yeah, Lord Matthew's the guy from Game
And
Fart.
I didn't even know that.
That's right. He developed the soundboard that we're using right now. And I was telling John right before the show started that, again, we can use this soundboard anywhere in the world from any phone, any device, and you can play sound effects right here in studio.
You could be in Hong Kong, John.
You mean Hong Kong?
And I could just be doing that
Yeah.
from Hong Kong right here in this room.
Hong Kong
love
Johnny
it.
Mundo. That's right. You'd need I think you'd need a new moniker for a Hong Kong version of you.
You think so?
Yeah, Johnny Mundo. Johnny Mundo is the it's the Lucha one.
Johnny Mundo's the Lucha one. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, guys.
But Mayor of Slamtown is universal. You know what I mean?
Mayor of Slamtown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Shaman Sexy, El Chingon Sisimo, Mayor of Slamtown, Guru of Greatness, Hancho of Hotness, Ambassador of Abdominals. I mean, a lot of that stuff just breaks down cultural barriers.
That's exactly what it did.
John is the UN of wrestling. Guys, I want to talk about the debate from last week. We debated who was the biggest douchebag in the universe, round 2. And coming in at number 4, Rucka, was Kevin Smith. I'm sorry.
See, I told you.
Yeah, number
Yeah.
4 was Kevin Smith, dead last, followed by Miles Teller. That's right, Mikey. People thought Miles Teller was a douche, but not as big of a douche as the number 1 pick, the biggest douchebag in the universe, was Gwyneth Paltrow.
Hey-o.
Yeah, that's right. That was my pick.
I
Gwyneth
have to listen to
Paltrow.
this podcast.
Oh, it's amazing, dude. We talked about how Gwyneth Paltrow is shoving jade eggs up her vagina to help restore feminine energy and your chi, and also it can give you toxic shock syndrome.
Yeah.
Number 2 was Congressman Rick Bratton. Our guest last week was Mark Andreyko, who, John, you're familiar with.
I know Andreyko. That's
Yeah.
a very specific Congressman Brackham.
Yeah, Rick Bratton.
Rick Bratton.
Yeah, this guy came out and said that gay people were not humans.
It's a very Andreyko pick.
Yeah, that is a very Andreyko pick. Yeah.
Yeah, at least he's not Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, it's true. Could
no,
be worse.
That's true, yeah. He's not shoving jade up anyone's vaginas. I got some voicemail. Listen to this. And this one's about your pick, Rucka.
God.
Kevin
Here
Smith.
we go.
Well,
Bring it on.
You don't know.
No,
Could
you
be
don't know.
in favor of you. Yeah, listen to this.
Okay.
Hey, Maddox. This is Delana calling from Washington. You know, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree with Rucka on this one.
Hey.
Kevin Smith does seem like a huge douche. Everything about him, his slacker films, his sloppy wardrobe, the disgusting way he talks about his wife on Twitter, it's just so arrogantly unimpressive. It's as if one of your Halloween costumes became a person and began making movies. It's funny once, but at some point you just look like a lazy dickhead. Anyway, good call, Rucka. Peace.
Peace.
Wow.
Who was that
Yeah.
again?
I think it was
Yes.
Dana was called. She
Good point, Dana, if you're listening.
Delana?
Love that. Yeah.
You heard it here first. John throws shade at Kevin Smith. Exclusive.
All day.
Yeah.
all day.
I mean, and a lot of shade because he needs a lot of shade. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's not watching his carbs. Whew.
Yeah, well, so it was a little bit awkward last week too because Mark Andreyko happens to be friends with Kevin Smith. So
okay.
that was. But I think that caller had basically the arguments you wanted to make, Rucka, right? Like
No.
that he's kind of you didn't want to make any
Wait,
of those points.
what were you gonna say just now?
Basically, the points that she made, which is that
That
he's
what?
sloppy. He talks about his wife on Twitter. Discussing,
Yeah, well,
what did he say
those
about-
kind of fall in the category of what I was saying, which is that he's just generally he like celebrates mediocrity and just aiming real low and like celebrating virginity and just general lack of personal development, like just the opposite of John Morrison. Like, look at those fucking biceps. Are they called triceps? What do you call those?
You got
Jesus
biceps and
fucking Christ.
triceps, arm muscles.
Would you
We
ever
were talking
see-
about that overhead lighting?
Would you ever see Kevin Smith, flexing? No. He just fucking wears some schlubby bullshit, fucking same
Like a
stupid backwards
hockey
cap.
jersey or something with a
his,
cap and-
His cap is on forwards, like a man. He's got cool sunglasses on. Like this is the American dream right here.
And I'm also sitting right here, so he's
Yeah.
got to say all that stuff.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. He's sitting right here. Do you see
Yeah.
Kevin Smith
Where's
coming
that-
on the show?
Kevin Smith's not here. I mean,
No,
he's
he's not here.
probably
That's true.
marking out for his dialogue that he's writing in his next fancy movie. You know what? One thing that I've noticed about him is a lot of times people forget that entertainment is supposed to be for other people, and when they get carried away, like maybe in some of his stuff. Tusk, perhaps. It seems like he was doing things just to pop himself because he likes to hear people say the words that he wrote on a piece of paper, and I find that annoying.
I liked Tusk. I thought Tusk was a good movie. It was a sleeper hit. Now here's the thing. So I guess essentially the argument is Kevin Smith shape up. Be
The ending
more,
of Tusk, no, I can't just let that go. The ending of Tusk was a huge letdown. The movie was interesting, yes. Justin Long, good job. The walrus thing, great. But the only interesting part was like they had that like I'm the walrus, right? Coming in
Yeah.
the middle of the thing,
Yeah,
and the ending of the movie. I thought you hated abstractions. There's nothing as
Yeah.
abstract as that weird ending of Tusk.
What was the? I don't remember the ending.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
It was just like a weird
Is
walrus
that
in
a
a
Kevin
pool.
Smith movie? I never even heard of.
Yeah.
Maybe I just know his '90s shit. I just know every one of his movies has like some fucking late 20s dude fucking living in his parents' attic. Playing,
You're right, what you know.
playing Nintendo in bed and putting on a pound a month till he's dead.
Wow, what a slacker, Kevin
right, what
Smith.
you know.
What has he done? Only like 20 movies. What an idiot.
Who's he to beat?
Here's another caller. Listen to this guy.
What's up, Maddox? It's Daniel calling. So I was just listening to your podcast with the pineapples, and you were talking about an astronaut who,
Great call. Here's another caller. I think this one disagrees with Rucka. Listen to this guy.
God.
You know what, Rucka? Every time I listen to this podcast, dude, you're so close to making a point, but then you just suck ass at explaining it. Okay? Every single time, dude. You're right there. I count on you to fuck Maddox up, and then you never do because you start making your point, and then the shit just falls apart. And then you guys have this Jesse P.S. bullshit guy coming on. He starts telling all these stupid stories about Bill Nye and shit. The first one was funny, the second one was okay, and the third one was bullshit. You should have stopped him then, but you didn't. It fucking pisses me off.
That guy's so pissed off by a comedy podcast.
He's very he has control issues. He really wants to control the podcast that he's listening to.
He's also angry, but pretty well thought out and articulate for an angry dude, right?
I thought he was going to tell me like how I was about to make a point, like what I should have said or something. No, he's just like just generally telling me I'm doing it wrong.
Right,
just flinging poo.
There's constructive criticism, and then there's criticism. That was criticism. Yeah, idiot. Oh, and also, here's some criticism.
Yeah.
That's right. That caller was a douchebag of the week. What a douche. Here's a caller. It's actually a guest we had on the show a couple weeks ago, Mike Gams. That's right. And we talked about...
Mike Gams.
Yeah, you know Mike Gams.
Yeah, I know Mike Gams.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
Good dude, yeah. Mike Gams actually just went to the UN recently. And a couple of weeks ago, actually about a month or two ago, we had a caller call in with a conspiracy theory about oil companies and pipelines and stuff like that. Now, here's Mike Gams. He talked to an oil company whistleblower who found out something interesting about the pipes and oil spills over land. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox. It's Mike Gams, your favorite pothead, paranoid pipeline protester. So I heard you guys talking about oil spills and pipelines. So after I was on the show last, I headed across the country to the United Nations in New York City to talk about a lot of these exact things. And I met with this guy named John Bolenbaugh, who is a big oil whistleblower. And he told me that when these pipelines have like a small leak, like up to like 1%, the pipeline company has to pay for that. So any maintenance or like checking of the pipeline, they have to pay for out of their own money, right? To these repairs and stuff like that. But if there's a big disaster, there's a giant spill and the pipeline bursts and there's oil everywhere, their insurance pays for that. And then they hire that same oil company to clean up their own mess. They don't check them or test them enough because they have to pay for that. But if it bursts, then insurance covers it, and then they get paid to clean up their own mess. So when there's a spill, they make money. So that's all I wanted to say. And punch a Nazi.
If you want to sum up Mike Gams' opposition to any company or any person whatsoever, just jump right to the end. They make money.
No, Rocka, but you're not addressing what he says there. So essentially what he's saying...
He found
That was a well thought out, interesting little snippet. I wasn't aware of that.
It was very interesting. I agree. It was fantastic.
I mean, but if that's the case, if it's true that if there are small leaks, that they let them become bigger leaks, because if there's an oil spill, the insurance company covers it, and then the insurance company is going to hire someone to clean it up, and there's no one more qualified than the oil company that has the spill. So then they make money. They have an incentive to let small spills turn into big spills. Now, the argument could be made. Here's, on this show, John, we like to debate both sides of the issue. Here's the counter argument I can think to that, which is that these companies get fined as well for big oil spills. The government sometimes holds them accountable. So I don't know if the amount of money that they would make from cleaning up the spill and recouping insurance would cover the fines that the government levies against them. That would be an interesting question, I think.
And just the tiny little forgettable fact, doesn't really matter that much. How about the fact that this company's sole purpose is to deliver oil into the gas tank of your car, and if they don't bring that oil, some other mega company will put oil in your car. Like, why is everybody so fucking insane? Like, is everybody like, what am I Charlton Heston on this fucking planet of monkeys? Is that what's happening right now? Like, I need to explain to everybody what an oil company does. I don't know what happened with that oil leak. I don't fucking know. Yeah, maybe there it was a fucking scam. But just the fact that these guys are always jumping to the worst possible conclusion, like, oh yeah, that clearly they just fucked themselves right in the asshole so they can collect insurance. Yeah, let's fucking start a company, drill oil out of the ground, invest a shit ton of our money and raise money to fucking invest to bring it across the fucking continent just so we could fucking puncture it ourselves and short term make a little bit extra money. It's just, I don't know. You know what, fucking, like, Why am I still talking?
Yeah, there you go. These good, hardworking men and women at the oil companies, their sole purpose in
Fuck
life
them,
is just
right?
their sole purpose is
Fuck
just to
them,
drill the earth and all that oil on their backs to put it into our car engines.
As
you
you
know,
fucking-
these nice,
Improve
these nice
the quality of
hardworking
life of
Americans.
Your whole
Americans.
fucking existence is thanks to these guys.
Yeah, let me
they
finish.
fucking
Let me finish,
provided you
shithead.
with your fucking existence.
Yeah,
you
know
couldn't
what?
be
They didn't
doing
provide
this podcast
shit.
without
yes,
them.
I fucking could. I didn't fucking put any oil into anything that you guys are eating or using today.
Oh my god!
Fuck you.
Everyone here drove here. Your fucking electricity.
bullshit.
Your
I drove
fucking.
here in a hybrid.
Oh my god!
yeah.
How do you charge your hybrid car? Who fucking
right.
built your hybrid
Solar
car?
panels.
Everything
Shit.
came
I'm just
from
pouring
fucking
salt on
fossil
this fire
fuels.
right now.
This whole fucking society is run by fucking fossil fuel shit,
yeah.
and all we do
I
is
miss
sit
this
here and
whole
shit
debate.
on them.
The main thing I took away from that is they're incentivized to make little problems become big problems.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's
The
more to it.
only-
There's PR too, and probably contracts.
The
and-
only reason these oil companies exist is to make money. That's all, Rucka. They don't give a fuck about oil. They don't give a fuck about anything. It could be oil. It could be cheese. It could be whatever the fuck puke that they pull out of the ground. If there's a market for it, they want to make money. And I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that these same people whose sole motive is to make money would want to make more money by letting a small problem become a big problem. Oh, wow. It's such a fucking conspiracy theory.
It's possible that somebody is so short-sighted and stupid that they would fuck over their own company to make short-term profit instead of actually delivering the oil that they set out to deliver in the first place. However, certain elements of our society, aka our last caller, their entire sole purpose is to shit on the profit motive itself, is to dismantle capitalism and its root, which is the fact that they hate fucking private interest, they hate companies, they hate the very fuel that they use to voice their opinions, and their only entire goal is to assume the worst about the entire industry in its first place, and to get the UN and Obama and Trump and all these people to fucking regulate it out of existence.
Yeah.
So we're all living in a fucking
I will say
tent.
another example of their incentive to make money is, don't a lot of these oil companies buy the patents on solar technology
Yes.
and alternative fuel methods?
Yes.
Which is they just buy them and sit on them
Yeah,
and
that
prevent a lot of
happens.
that stuff from being developed.
That happens. And then once we run out of oil, then they'll start using those patents to sell us more alternative. Like, these people exist to make money. Period. And that's it.
Oh my God.
And look, maybe look, you cannot dismiss the possibility.
It's possible.
that it's their motive. Their
Why do
primary
we
motive.
assume that that's what's going on?
Because
it's always
they are.
We're always getting fucked by the same oil companies that we choose to voluntarily patronize every fucking day.
We don't, because it's a monopoly. What happened to BP after their fucking disaster?
What
Are they
monopoly?
gone? Are they gone?
There's more than one oil company out there.
Yeah, oh,
and
sorry,
by the
there's
way,
two.
there would be a lot more oil companies. What?
There's 2 or 3. That's it.
Okay,
It's like the same fucking
do you know
companies.
what a monopoly means? It means one. Okay.
No, it doesn't. Not necessarily. Because I'll give you an example of a monopoly that's happening right now in Southern California.
Yeah.
AT&T and Verizon. They have certain areas in Southern California that are AT&T or Verizon only, and they don't cross into each other's boundaries because they know that they both stand to lose money if they compete with each other. So they kind of like hush hush, wink wink, nod nod. Okay, you got this area, we got this area, and sometimes the border is right down the middle of a street. My neighbor has AT&T. I have to get Verizon. And guess what? They both charge too much. And it's surprisingly, just by coincidence, about the same price that they're both charging. They're both charging the same amount. No collusion there, right, shitheads?
I
Fuck phone
agree,
companies.
and I would add to that if you really want to see more companies rise up to that level, if you want to see more competition, if you want to see your little precious small mom and pop business actually grow to get to be another big company, you would advocate for deregulating, you would advocate for lower taxes instead of higher ones, and you would generally promote the free market system, but you do the opposite. You want to see more government controlling our lives. So quit talking like you care so much about competition and a bunch of bullshit.
Okay, that's not true.
Okay.
That's a huge straw man.
You and
argument.
Mike Gams need to move into your fucking tent and leave the fucking modern
Hey guys, was
civilization
Jesse
to
Camp
me.
here last week or the other week with Mike Gams?
No, but we will have Jesse Camp on the show. Jesse Camp, as you guys recall, was the MTV VJ from a long time ago.
Oh,
He
fuck
won the
yeah.
first ever VJ contest, right? VJ
And-
Jesse.
Yeah, and he's a friend of ours, and Mike Gams introduced me to him, and
Yeah.
he's a fantastic dude. You know him.
Oh, is he
I
coming
have a-
in here?
He will be,
I have
yeah.
a crazy Jesse story.
Let's- yeah.
The brief way of how we met was I after I changed my major from geology to film, I wrote, directed, produced, and edited a movie at UC Davis, and put out a breakdown. And VJ Jesse's agent, or at least I thought he was his agent, responded to me. And I went down to LA. I called this guy and I was like, yeah, we're going to send our casting associate down there and put Jesse on tape. Then that afternoon, I got in my car and drove down there. I showed up, said I was the casting associate. We put put Jesse on tape and just masqueraded like I was the casting guy and I was going to get back to the producer. It ended up working out, and Jesse flew out to Davis for 3 weeks to do a movie called Point and Shoot with me and a lot of my friends from college. And the experience was amazing. Jesse was amazing. Super baller. We were hanging out. The movie, unfortunately, is terrible for so many reasons, but it's so bad that you can't even see it or watch it. The audio's bad, the lighting, everything. But the experience was amazing.
That's
and,
a cool story, man.
Now me and Jesse have this crazy bond. And over the course of that shoot, there was stories for another time. Like we got a gun pulled on us one time in East Davis where it got dangerous, and then we decided to finish shooting the scene. Anyway, but that's for another podcast.
Interesting. Well, when we have Jesse on, maybe we can have you call in.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Give me a heads up.
That'd be fantastic. All right, I got a couple more calls. Here's one. So a couple episodes ago, this was really fascinating. We had a debate about the gender, non-binary, or binary issue, whether or not gender is on a spectrum. And I didn't really get to delve into this and talk about how fascinating the voting was on the show. So, John, on the show, sometimes we have voting before and after listening to the debate.
Okay.
To see whether or not people's opinions have changed, whether or not the arguments presented were persuasive. And here's a caller about that. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox. Just want to say I love you and your show. But that Rekka guy, he's a total fucking asshole. There are plenty of people on this planet who reject the concept of binary gender roles. They call themselves non-binary, and they aren't just doing it to be special fucking snowflakes, okay? I'm one of those people, and I don't give a fuck what you call me, as long as you're not calling me a raving Democrat. What kind of bullshit is that? When I say I'm non-binary, I'm not trying to say I don't have a cunt. What I'm saying is, I don't want to be defined by it. Why is that so hard to understand?
Wow, it is shit on Rekka day today.
No, it's you had the caller who supported you in the first one.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, if there is a non-binary person out there that does not have a special request for how they'd like to be addressed, any special pronoun or something like that, then you know, there you have it. I was just making the point that it's not the same as a sexual preference.
No, I think she took issue with the fact that you would characterize them all as Democrats.
Okay, I'm guessing she's a big fucking George W. Bush fan.
She's a big Trump supporter.
Yeah, sure.
But here's what I really wanted. Here's what I really wanted to bring up from that episode is the vote, because this was really fascinating. John, before listening to the debate, 82% said no, that gender was not on a spectrum, and then after listening to the debate, 55% said yes. Wow. That is, I think, one of the most persuasive arguments we've ever had on the show.
Show is officially an agent of change.
Yeah, and that even caught me by surprise, because I just assumed this audience, being what it is, would have voted no on both sides, because it's very contentious right now. There's a big debate going on whether or not gender is on a spectrum, and a lot of people feel uncomfortable with the notion because it's something that we were all familiar with. It's something we've been born with. We just have always known, okay, yeah, there's a mom and a dad, and there's a male and a female. It's just always how things have been, except when you have these cases that don't quite fit neatly into this paradigm of yes or no, male or female.
Well, it's such a personal choice and decision, and like anytime you're trying to categorize and make an objective way to categorize people, for sure that would seem insulting to somebody.
Well, so one of the examples that I brought up on the show came from an interview. They found this kid, I think in Cuba, who was born as I think a female, essentially, because the kid didn't have male genitalia, and it wasn't until the kid turned 11 years old and then started getting a surge of testosterone that his penis grew. And his penis kind of like came into being, whereas the kid was always kind of androgynous his whole life. And this uncle said that the kid acted like a boy, but never had the genitalia for it until finally it came to be. Clearly, you can make the case that during that transitional period, there is definitely a spectrum of how female or male that you are.
Yeah.
So that, I think examples like that kind of persuaded people.
Yeah, always getting extremely, extremely angry is always a good sign of your intellectual position, by the way. If you have a dog or a cat, going back to our earlier conversation, dogs and cats immediately know what I call it gender. I don't mean the social construct. Obviously, everything's a social construct. We're piles of fucking atoms. Your sex, your biological gender. A dog and a cat immediately knows what it is. A male cat needs a man to hold him and wrestle with him a little bit. Like, they respond differently to men and women. You can't just blame it all on society and say that the whole thing is made up.
I don't know. I feel like I've had a dog before that preferred the company of other male dogs.
Yeah.
I'm saying gender, like dogs and cats, they sense it. They know gender instinctively is what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they were influenced by society to feel that way.
No,
it's tough because you can't ask any dogs unless it's that talking dog from that wrestling movie.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, there are animals that do show homosexual tendencies.
Look, this is all great stuff. Look, by the way, when did I turn into the fucking anti-fucking like I'm the live and let live guy. Like, I like people with all types of identity issues. I don't fucking have a problem with anybody, all right? I was just making some point that, like, there's a lot going on there, and I don't even remember what else I was going to say, so, yeah.
Well,
you nailed it.
Oh, my God.
Well, here's another caller. This is a regular.
Okay.
We have a caller called Weird Matthew McConaughey, and I think you'll know why when you hear his voice. Listen to this.
Sweet.
This is just an interesting question that he has. Listen to this.
You know what's crazy? For a bride to go to 6 different places to find wedding stamps. As in stamps that have like a wedding cake on them or wedding themed in some way. To send out the invitations. Just send out the invitations with a fucking annual stamp. Hell, man, just fucking print that shit on there. It doesn't even matter.
I missed what he's talking about. Did I miss something or no?
No, that's just an
Okay.
average
In that
call
case,
from Weird Matthew McConaughey.
Weird
He
Matthew,
just
nice.
had a thought about wedding stamps. Thank
Okay.
you, Weird Matthew.
It's like the Kevin Smith of voicemails.
Oh.
What do you think of that, Rucka?
Yeah, it's accurate.
Okay. Coming up at the end of the show, we've got some headlines as always, but joining me again this week is my first hand-on-staff moderator, Rucka Ali. Let's hear his buzzer. And John Morrison, let's hear yours. And we've got Swagmaster Mikey Bolts. Let's hear Mike. There it is. There's
Sweet.
Mikey's. So if you guys hear any of these buzzers during the debate, that means that these fine gentlemen have disagreed with something I have said, or they're trying to buzz in and make a correction, or just call me out on some bullshit. But be warned, it's never happened on the show. Wrong. No, John. Wrong. So, on to the debate this week. John's new movie, Boone, is an action movie, and it will join the pantheon of all other action movies, including some of the best of all time. There's Indiana Jones, Mad Max, Die Hard, James Bond, and perhaps the greatest action movie of all time. It's a genre-bending movie that some would consider horror action, a movie called Ooga Booga. That's right. It's a really good horror action movie.
Oh, damn it. I've never even seen it.
Oh, you got to. It stars,
out of the
who is it? Stacy Keach, Karen Black, and it
When
stars
did
me
Ooga
as
Booga
well.
come out? Are you in it?
Yeah, I'm in it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a fantastic.
When did it come out? I love Stacy Keach.
Came out 2-3
And, of course,
years
Maddox.
ago. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Stacy Keach. He wasn't able to get his own dressing room, so he bummed mine when I was in mine.
Did Siri, the porn
Can't
star,
say no to Stacy.
did
Yeah,
she
porn star
get
Siri.
her own room?
No one did except for me. So everybody had to wait in line until I was done, and
Using the space.
yeah, I would take a dump.
I had
and
a
then
similar
let them
experience
have
with
it.
Danny Trejo once had.
Oh, did you really? You've worked with Danny Trejo, right?
Yeah, and nobody had a room except him.
Oh, really?
That was the only thing he had. This is the only thing in his rider. He said he wanted a room with air conditioning. And other than that, he'd just be fine with everything. And actually, since that movie, I was like, you know what? I think that's what I want now. If I'm going to do a low-budget movie, like, if I have a room with air conditioning, I can be pretty happy as long as I just have that comfortable place to chill if I need to get away.
Yeah, it makes a world of difference on set when you're when you're there for 3-4 hours in between shots. You gotta chill. But he didn't even allow you into his room then, huh?
Oh, he did.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did. He did like the second half of the day, because the first half of the day he did a scene and then went in there and took a long nap, and then he came out and he was super nice to everyone. And was telling stories about being locked up and working with Rodriguez, and then he invited everyone back into his room.
I imagine you and Danny Trejo sitting across the room from each other, both in like a lazy boy with air conditioner running, and he's staring at you and you're staring at him, not saying a word.
Actually, that legitimately happened. But it was we did a release party for that movie. It was called 20 Feet Under or something. Below Hell. And I went to the party and saw Danny. This is probably like the 6th time that I'd met him. And he introduced himself to me again and said, "Nice to meet you." And the two of us ended up sitting in this VIP bench, like at the very back of the party. And we talked about wrestling. He's friends with Diamond Dallas Page, so am I. And then for like 30 seconds to a minute, that happened. And then he just ordered a huge plate of desserts and told me he was high as fuck. And sat there for like an hour, and it was a platter. There was like little pieces of cheesecake, brownies, fruit cups, tarts.
Wow!
And he just went to town on these desserts for like an hour and sat there kind of like quietly. And he was really high.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And sat there like quietly, and like there's music playing real loud, so you couldn't really say anything. And I just kind of sat there opposite him for a really long time, and like was just like, huh, this is strangely awesome and awkward at the same time.
Yeah.
I can't talk to the guy next to the music,
surreal.
and he's just going to town on these desserts, and then he got up and took off.
Huh. That's a good Trejo story.
Yeah.
So we should talk about the debate this week, which is, who is the greatest action movie star of all time?
Present company excluded.
Present company excluded, of course. We can't throw ourselves in the ring because I think that everyone would agree it's me from Ooga Booga, which is
pretty much,
genre
Great
bending.
action movie.
No. Yep.
Mikey?
No.
Mikey?
That was Siri.
Siri?
The porn star.
Siri the porn star?
No.
She did have some action in the movie.
I've got to see Ooga Booga, and I feel like I'm out of the loop.
Oh, dude, you got to see this.
You got to see. Okay, must
it's
see.
Killer.
Yeah.
It's killer. It was robbed of the
Really? It was
Academy Awards.
snubbed?
Yeah, snubbed.
Snubbed.
I'm hoping this is going to be boonsier. You know, it's available now for your consideration.
That's right. The Academy Award does listen to the show.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I figured they. That's
They're big
part of the
fans.
reason I came on.
They love debates.
Yeah.
So, speaking of debates, though, John, who is your pick for the best action movie star of all time?
The greatest action movie star of all time. I'm going to go with Jackie Chan.
Ooh, Jackie
Aw,
Chan.
shit.
Wow, that's a solid contender.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, John, before the show, he was down to my final.
Ooh.
One of my finals. Now, why Jackie Chan? Why do you think that he deserves the mantle?
Man, first of all, if you just look at his body of work, the sheer number of action movies that he's done, it's in the hundreds. He's done his own stunts since day one. The style of action, I mean, this is... Anytime you're talking about best, it's a little bit subjective. He happens to be my favorite action movie star. I really enjoy his movies. The style of action that he does is shot wider than almost any other, certainly like Western action movie stars, but any other even Eastern movie stars. So you can see what's happening over the course of his action. And also, he's got a self-deprecating, reluctant hero type of persona that I really identify with, and I think is very relatable to everybody watching. He's laying down violent action comedy, and that combination is not easy but necessary to sell the action.
Violent action comedy. Interesting blend there. Now, here's the thing, though. Aren't most Jackie Chan movies cookie cutter? Aren't they all pretty much the same movie?
He does rely heavy on the revenge film formula, so to speak, and evil master or some sort of MacGuffin is stolen and he has to get it back, and there's oftentimes a love interest. But I think that he's got enough variety in his films. I mean, if you look at from Police Story to Drunken Master to Rumble in the Bronx, there's enough difference in his the stories, his fighting style, and the type of action that you're seeing that he's done hundreds of movies. It's hard to avoid the formula if you've done hundreds of action movies, but he's got enough different types of movies in there that I think you couldn't call him cookie cutter.
Yeah. Well, I can, and I just did. That's right. Point me. Good job, Maddox. Yeah.
Hey, sound effects.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting, John. He has a large body of work. No one can deny that.
Maybe protein cookie cutter, but not cookie cutter.
Yeah, well, I saw an interview with Jackie Chan a long time ago where he talked on a late night show about how the first American movie he ever appeared in was Cannonball Run, I believe, or Cannonball Run 2.
I think that is correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And the American directors just do not get martial arts. So the director of the movie was giving Jackie Chan these scenes where he wanted him to do jump kicks and high kicks and things like that on a beach. And Jackie Chan was trying to explain to him the physics of having to jump from beach sand, to, get some height and do a jump kick. And the director said, I don't care. And Jackie Chan was like, well, can we just put a mat down on the ground that's the same color as the sand? At least give me a platform to jump off of. And he said no, and wouldn't work with him at all. So it was a long time. It took a long time for Jackie Chan to finally break into the American film market with the martial arts that he does.
And I couldn't agree more, which is why I think a lot of my favorite Jackie Chan movies are his stuff that was made in Hong Kong. I mean, Drunken Master 2, I think, is probably the best example of what makes Jackie Jackie. Like, the movement that he pulls off in Drunken Master 2, combined with doing his own stunts, and the beat count of the fights that he's doing, combined with he's taking his own reactions and falls, he's getting beat up, and the amount of energy he puts into those fight scenes are what I think makes them worth watching. He's not just doing a jump kick like you might do in an American action movie. He's doing like 50 jump kicks and taking reactions and doing real fights with, real fights as far as he's doing all of his own stuff and taking his own reactions with a million different kinds of props.
Yeah, I do like to see when the stunts go wrong, because they keep those in the movie. They keep them in the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, and that I did that with Boone in a kind of as an ode to Jackie Chan, and his outtake reel, all the stunts that went wrong, you get to see part of his process. I think he was the first person that really did that, and it became part of his brand, and I really think that's cool.
Yeah. So were there any accidents on set during Boone?
Oh, tons, man. Are you kidding me? Like, all kinds. Like, anytime you push yourself to the line, like, of what you're capable of, you botch, you wreck, and there's in the outtakes after the movie, you can see there's several times where I tried to do like a dive roll through a small hole on a tire rack, and I tried that 3 times and knocked the tire rack over like every time. Oof. And the tire racks hit me in the head. I fall on a triple Kong a bunch of times, and then there's stuff that we didn't even get on camera, like fractured my patella trying to do that cork punch.
Gosh.
And you see the cork punch in the movie in the compound, but you don't see the fracture because it was off camera.
Oh man.
Shit.
Almost sprained my wrist a bunch of times, ankle, doing side flips, and just that's what happens when you push yourself to the limit. And that's why Jackie Chan in all of his outtakes is he's always getting banged up.
Yeah, speaking of banged up, when you said you sprained your wrist, me, Mikey, and Rucka all kind of looked at each other for a hot second. Rucka knows about sprained wrists.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Which wrist?
Why not both?
Yeah. He's ambidextrous.
When the first time I knew I was ever really injured was I hurt my neck in pro wrestling and had nerve damage, and I couldn't use my right hand. And,
oh my gosh! How long did that last?
I had to have surgery and take a piece of the vertebra taken out, and it slowly came back.
Holy
but there
shit,
was
man.
The time when you're in the hotel room at night and you can't use your right hand, and you're like, oh, this is real. Mm-hmm. I am injured officially because
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to learn to use my left hand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's work, guys, and we suffer. We pay for our art.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a stranger.
Yeah.
That's right. Think about it. Okay, John. Good pick. All right, Jackie Chan, masturbation. But here's mine. All right, I got the real biggest action star of all time.
Okay,
all right?
Who do you got?
Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, that's right. Boom. Sylvester Stallone. I did it.
Big fan of his.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good pick.
He's the best. He's incredible. All right.
He's almost as good as Jackie. I'll give you that.
He's much better than Jackie. And here are some of the movies that he's been in. My all-time personal favorite action series.
Okay.
Rambo. I love Rambo.
You like Rambo more than Rocky?
Oh yeah, Rambo more than Rocky. First of all, the first Rocky movie is just garbage. Cut it up and throw it in the
Oh man.
I know,
Come on, no way. Look at him.
It's just hella boring, dude.
He's just talking for the reason of talking. Absolutely not. I mean, the first Rocky movie I would say is more of a drama than an action movie.
Yeah.
Though. But,
it's all about this beta loser. Speaking of, he's basically Kevin Smith in the movie, according to your definition of Kevin Smith.
I'm sure he gets that comparison all the time.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone and Kevin Smith. He's directing his own stuff.
He's the entire. You're
not helping your argument. You're just shitting on Rocky.
Oh yeah. Well, but, I didn't have Rocky as a good series.
No, continue.
Pick your battles.
It gets better. But here's the thing. So the first Rocky movie, right? The first I don't know, like 2-3 hours of the movie is him trying to pick up this chick. You know, this like average.
The first 2 to 3 hours of the movie.
Oh man, it feels like hours have passed.
I know what you mean. It feels like there's a lot of time sometimes, and a half hour takes like Feels like 3 hours have gone by.
Hey, yo, can I have your number? And then this girl is not giving him. Yeah, he's at a pet store for some reason. And then he goes over to her house. They don't bang. And then he goes over to her house again. They don't bang. And then he needs to learn how to box or something. And that doesn't happen until like way later in the movie. And I'm like, what the fuck is this movie about? He owes people money. He sometimes goes to boxing. Sometimes he doesn't. Get them to the action. That's what I want to say. So the first Rocky movie garbage,
but
the rest.
I feel about Sylvester Stallone.
The rest, yeah, I just shit all over Sylvester Stallone.
Well put.
But the rest of the Rocky series is amazing.
I'm a fan of that movie. All of them, actually. I'm a fan of the Rocky movies.
Okay,
that's great. So your greatest action hero is Sylvester Stallone, and your opening argument is that his most memorable movie sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
okay. Pretty much.
That's the strength of my choice, Rucka.
Mm-hmm.
I can shit on one of his most famous movies, and he still easily takes his competition.
We watched Rambo. You made us watch it the other day.
Let you.
A group
I let
of us. You let us. You were like, oh, Rambo. I remember like Rambo from like early childhood. Like I remember just seeing like snippets of images of him like off in like the Middle East or some foreign country, like shooting bad guys or whatever. Like it looked like a cool movie. Then we watched this fucking movie here that it starts off with him going to visit his friend from Vietnam.
Which Rambo?
Rambo First Blood.
Rambo
First Blood. Okay.
Rambo itself, the first. Then
classic.
Like over like
maybe cookie cutter,
the
but
cops
classic.
in this town treat him like a black man in Mississippi in the old days. Like they just for no reason they just start beating him and throw him in jail.
A drifter
because they hate like Vietnam vets.
He's a loner, a rebel.
Yeah, he's a rebel.
He's the Omega.
Mm-hmm. He's walking through town. He just wants a sandwich and a place to sleep. He doesn't even need his place. He's got his sleeping bag. And then this fucking hard ass cop, this hot shit cop, in dirt water.
I've seen the movie.
Yeah,
and I like all the Rambo movies, but I'm just gonna start shitting on him now for the sake of this debate.
Well, you can't. Rambo's the toughest action hero star of all time. He would eat things that would make a billy goat puke. This guy he's made out of wood. He's fucking badass.
Eating stuff's like a reality show stuff.
Yeah, that's
not
like Fear Factor.
That's like not an action star thing. Yeah. So he'd win at Fear Factor. Good
Pretty
for him.
What does Jackie Chan eat? Normal
dog
food?
Poop. No,
he
he
eats human food.
He eats noodles and stuff.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of movies where he's trying to find food.
Billy goats can eat noodles and they won't puke.
And I guarantee you, Jackie Chan has drunk more in movies than Sylvester Stallone.
Well, yeah, that's because Sylvester Stallone is at the peak of his fighting condition at all times. In Rambo First Blood Part 2.
So is Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is hammered in Drunken Master, and he's still kicking ass.
That's true, he is. Or is that just the drunken style of fighting?
Well, specifically in Drunken Master. Drunken Master 2.
Okay, well, Sylvester Stallone, you got Expendables. Okay. Judge Dredd, the first one.
Yep.
The good one. Copland.
That was another good one.
I liked it. And then Demolition Man, which still holds up. It's a movie so iconic that it inspired Taco Bell, one of the largest fast food corporations in the world, to change their logo to match the one from the movie. And it's life imitating art, and it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. So in Demolition Man, they said in the future, Taco Bell's logo would look like this. Guess what? It is the future, and Taco Bell's logo does look like that, based on a fucking Sylvester Stallone movie.
Well,
Boom.
I mean, good for Demolition Man. I don't know if I'd give that to Sylvester Stallone. Yep. I mean, the movie was the trendsetter. Was it really the actor?
It was.
It's tough to say.
The actor.
It's hard to say. Wesley Snipes was in there, and so is Sandra Bullock. It was an ensemble piece.
About them.
Know about them. I
forgot all about them.
Sylvester Stallone all the way. Then you have Over the Top, one of the only blockbusters ever made about arm wrestling. And listen to this.
Over the Top's not going to help your argument.
Oh, yeah,
it's an action movie about arm wrestling?
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
Listen to the synopsis, because this is the best synopsis.
And I love this movie. I've seen this movie a bunch of times.
Yeah. This is the most incredible logline of any movie I've ever read. Listen to this. A truck driver yanks his snotty son out of military school and goes to Las Vegas to arm wrestle.
I'd watch that.
Yeah,
I gotta give it the ding.
That's pretty cool.
It was a good movie, but specifically, like I would classify that as a drama. I mean, Over the Top is more of a drama than an action movie.
Yeah,
it's just like Rocky. I mean, Sylvester Stallone, talented guy, talented actor, but if we're comparing action movie stars, you got to say someone like the hundreds of movies that Jackie Chan did when he first started, when he was just a kid, like coming out of the Chinese opera, blow Over the Top away in terms of what he accomplished with on-screen action.
Well, so look, Jackie Chan is an amazing actor and an accomplished martial artist. People respect him, but people also really respect Sylvester Stallone.
Absolutely.
Stallone
I mean, if we're talking
mentioned.
directors, sure, Sylvester Stallone. If we're talking like dramatic acting pieces, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that Jackie's done that's not as out there in the Western audiences as the stuff that Sly's done. Meals on Wheels. He did that one where Jackie was in it and everyone loved it. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I've never seen Meals on Wheels.
That was a different one. But the one with Samo was... I didn't do as much research as you did, clearly, prior to
Meals on Wheels?
Prior to the beginning of this thing.
Meals on
Meals on Wheels is the legendary fight between Jackie Chan and Benny the Jet, or Cudez.
This was the name of the movie?
Meals on Wheels is the name of the movie. The American release, at least.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I'm no critic. I'm no expert. Far be it for me to ever step to Jackie Chan, but Meals on Wheels, like who thought that would be a good name for a movie?
Well, we're talking about action movie stars. We're not talking about marketing or movie names.
No, just a side note.
He risked his life
Wheels.
on a skateboard in that movie, and the action he pulled off in Meals on Wheels, despite the strange
Does
name.
he deliver food in this on the skateboard?
Sometimes, yeah. He'll do everything.
Meals on Wheels. No, I just want to understand. I actually am intrigued to watch it.
He delivers ass whoopings.
Sounds better than Rambo. I'm not going to lie.
Tell you what, let's pull up Meals on Wheels during the next break so we can watch some of these
All right.
skateboard stunts, because he risked his life for Meals on Wheels.
He's a true action hero.
How many meals were on wheels, John?
I saw the movie a long time ago, and I think he delivered more ass whoopings than meals in the movie.
I'm in.
But I promise you, the fight scenes in Meals on Wheels put over the top of shame.
I looked up Meals on Wheels, and it looks like the original name is Kwai Kan Che. It is, Jackie Chan, Bai Yuan, Samo Kambo Hung. Yeah, Sammo Hung. Sammo Hung, that's right. And the synopsis says, the owners of a mobile restaurant help a private eye locate a mysterious woman.
Ooh.
I do like.
Does that
like
sound
all those
cookie
things.
cutter? No, I don't think so.
I'll watch it. It just sounds like some like Paul Blart Mall Cop or something. Like, hey, I got it for the next summer blockbuster. He's delivering food to people's houses, and what can go wrong?
I mean, and you could say that, yeah, but the difference is Paul Blart Mall Cop's comedy. He's like, he's got
Meals
his
on
moments.
Wheels sounds like a shitty comedy.
But Meals on Wheels, like, is every movie that Jackie's done is held up by his outstanding action sequences. I mean, you can have your like shitty summer blockbuster. He's delivering meals, but it relies on his his fighting and his action.
Right.
That,
I was
that's
hung
why
up
he's
on
the
the
best
name.
action star of all
I was
time.
hung up on the name. Let's let the debate convene.
Give both these guys
look
the same amount of money, $2 million, $5 million, or $100 million, and see which movie we like better. I bet you though the smaller the budget, the more Jackie Chan would excel, and the bigger the budget, the more Sylvester Stallone would excel, because he relies more on explosions and special effects, and Jackie is doing everything himself.
Yeah, but Jackie Chan also can do more because he films most of his movies in China, where it's a lot cheaper to make those movies. Why do I sound like I sound like LA Werewolf guy? He does all his movies in China, and
well, don't change the subject. Why does making a movie in China allow somebody to do more stunts?
Because it's cheaper. You can make cheaper movies in China.
It's also cheaper labor.
It's just deregulated. There's less safety checks. So you can do riskier stuff.
Why don't you guys get married already? You and Rucka. Here's the thing. In China, the government subsidizes. Yeah, then maybe you should.
Is it legal in China?
2017.
It's 2017.
Yeah. Is that funny to you?
No.
Listen, there's cheaper labor in China too, so you can get a stunt double for like $2.
He doesn't need one.
Yeah.
That's the point. He doesn't want one.
Yeah, but
he does them himself.
I bet
he's got stunt teams. He's had stunt doubles for sure.
Yeah,
like anybody who's done a movie has had doubles and stunt doubles. But the crazy thing is when he broke through, it was because he was doing his own stunts.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the Chinese government subsidizes Jackie Chan's movies because he's the biggest star. By the way,
they do now, but he started in the 70s.
Yeah, that's true. But here's another fact about Jackie Chan. I believe he may be the biggest star in the world.
Yeah.
He
definitely is.
Yeah. I'm a fan of his. I liked his Facebook page on Facebook, and you come to expect a certain level of followers for big celebrities, like 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, whatever. Even the U.S. president, I think, only gets like 20 million or so followers on Facebook. Jackie Chan, I think, is pushing 80 or 90 million right now.
Wow.
Yeah, he is.
That's power.
Yeah. A lot of people like Jackie Chan. He does unite. And, I get your argument, John, that he's been in some lesser-known movies, some sleeper hits and things, but so is Sylvester Stallone. I don't know if you've heard of this little ditty called Spy Kids 3D Game Over. Huh? Have you heard of that?
Yeah. I've heard of it, yes. Have I seen it? Nope.
Throw Mama from the Train?
I love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oscar.
Was that the one with Danny DeVito?
Wait.
No,
Throw Mama
that's-
was Sylvester Stallone in Throw Mama from the Train?
Yeah.
Danny
that was him.
DeVito and Billy Crystal? Was
Yeah.
that the same movie I'm
Was that the
thinking
move?
of?
Yeah, I don't think he was in Throw Mama
unless
from
he
the
had
Train.
a cameo or some shit. Did you just look at his IMDb?
Yeah.
Because it was Danny DeVito and Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
It was not Sylvester Stallone. I think
he
it
might
came
he
up.
might have had a cameo
Yeah.
or something. You're right, but
I'm gonna give myself.
I
a point there.
mean, no, he wasn't in it, dude.
So it was Throw Mama from the Train, and then he also did one of the voices in Ants. That was-
I remember the
you
voice
remember
in Ants.
Ants?
That was
That's
good.
right.
He did a good job in that.
Yeah.
What a miserable movie.
Again, his
It was not.
his expertise of not doing stunts.
You know what, John? Here's the thing. Sylvester Stallone is like what, pushing 180 years old now.
So is Jackie Chan.
Who do you think could take the other one in a fight?
Right now, Jackie Chan for
Jackie
sure.
Chan, there you go.
But Sylvester Stallone with a gun.
Probably with a gun, yes, and
Yeah.
and for sure, if we were like having a bench press contest, it'd go to Sly.
Yeah. Sylvester Stallone wins. There you go.
Stallone can't even see out of his eyes, dude. He's had so much work done,
Yeah.
man. Even if you gave him a gun, I think Jackie Chan would take
Let
it.
me tell you a story about Sylvester Stallone. Have you guys ever hiked the Grand Canyon?
I've seen it. Yeah. My
So
dad peed
you
off.
can-
He's hiked on parts of it.
You can hike down to it and from the parking lot to the bathroom. So you can hike down to the bottom of the canyon. It's a thing a lot of people do. It takes a couple days. You have to hike a day, camp, hike another day. There's cabins down there, and a day or two to hike out. I did that hike when I was in my early 20s. This is a while ago, and it just so happened that the month before I did this Grand Canyon hike, Sylvester Stallone had done it. Now, when we were doing the hike, they said one of the biggest things is like as soon as you start going down the canyon, you have to hike yourself out. There's no way they can lift you out. I mean, if it's a life-threatening emergency, maybe, but you have to get your ass down and then back. When I got down to the bottom, the guide started telling this story about how Sylvester Stallone hiked down to the bottom, and his feet were hurting, and he was tired. And he spent like a day down there trying to call a helicopter to lift him out because he didn't want to walk. And she was really proud to let our group know that they didn't bend the rules for him. They made him hike his own ass out because they don't lift anyone out of the canyon. Now, Jackie Chan would have never even thought about that. He would hike down and back up to the top in probably half a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a skateboard with food for a mysterious woman. As one of his plots for his movie. Some weird.
What, like
yeah, but that was
Sylvester
real life. That was a real
never
story
did
about the
some
man,
weird
Sly.
shit?
What's that? Rucker?
Like Sylvester never did some weird shit?
No, Sylvester's always done normal things.
Played it safe?
All right, John. I gotta give you a point for that one because that does sound like a weak sauce move. But Sylvester Stallone is also, I believe, a billionaire. You know what? Here's what I would do. If I was down at the bottom of the thing and I didn't feel like climbing up the canyon, I would raise the canyon so that I am now standing on level ground and I just walk back to my car. That's what I would do.
If Sly had done that, it would have been a big, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And also, if
right.
he was down there and he tried to get the helicopter to pick him up, and eventually he did, that'd have been pretty cool too. But he tried and failed, and then had to walk out anyway, and that's embarrassing.
Yeah, but he had the balls to ask. Uh-huh.
Let me help you out here.
Please.
Sylvester Stallone was in a movie called Fist.
Oh, that's right. Fist. What do you think of that, John?
You ever see Fist?
I have not seen it. I'll say the title sounds fascinating.
It's I was just gonna let the name sit. It's about a union back in the early union days.
Oh, your favorite.
A bunch of immigrants, a bunch of different communities. The Italians, the Irish, the Hungarians. They're all kind of living, figuring out how they want to. Conduct themselves. It's a drama. There's probably some fighting in it, but like there's emotional stuff too. You think Jackie Chan could ever pull that kind of shit off? The guy can't fucking speak English.
Jackie Chan was in a movie called The Tuxedo. All right, and he used his fist while looking amazing in a magical tuxedo.
Right. He looks good. He throws punches, but could he do a period piece about just human relationships and figuring out how we're going to deal with the issue of labor versus
He's done tons of those things. They're usually about like historical period pieces involving the Chinese history. I mean,
Yeah,
he's played
but
Feng Sayuk, he's played
always
Wong
about-
Fei Hung, he's played Chinese heroes.
But it's always about a hero going and killing somebody. But could he ever just play a young man finding his way with the girl across the street as a founding member of the union.
I mean, again, you're crossing into this dramatic acting stuff. I mean, can he do it? I don't know, probably. But the fact of the matter is, he would just punch his way out of there because that's what action heroes do.
The answer is no, he could not do it because he's Jackie Chan. He's not Sylvester Stallone, the man.
Because he's an action movie star. He's not a dramatic actor.
What Rucka's saying is that Sylvester Stallone has range with his fists.
Yeah,
whereas
range.
Jackie Chan can only use his fists for hurt. Sylvester Stallone can use his fists for pleasure.
Interesting.
I beg to differ.
Interesting. They did call it fist.
In another real life story, Jackie Chan is the owner of a panda preserve in the Sichuan province of China, and he's got his picture all over the entire panda reserve that's protecting the pandas, and he's holding baby pandas with his fists because he's trying to make China and the world a better place with his fists by saving pandas instead of punching people.
Saving pandas.
Conservation.
Now,
people love pandas.
Yeah, I do not.
I'm
so
sure
I ran for president this last election, John. I don't know if you know
I
this.
voted for you. I wrote you in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a real winner in here.
Yeah.
All right. John Moore,
Not
thank
you, because you lost. But
you know
I would have been nice if you won, man.
It was close. We still have not conceded. We're still doing a count
Good.
of the ballots.
Don't give up. Never give in.
But part of my platform as the Regressive Party was to bomb pandas. Because then if you create mass graves for families, I'm having full family abortions. So
bomb pandas or like drop pandas from planes?
Both.
Okay.
You can bomb them on the families. I would also like my own panda preserve with pictures of me, but I'm glaring really angrily, and my fist is held up like this, like in defiance of the pandas to make them cower in front of me.
Perhaps over the panda grill, maybe, or the
yeah. I don't know. Pandas are basically like bear dogs. All right, they're not that smart. All they do is eat bamboo, and you know why they eat bamboo, John? They could get the nutrition they need from other plants that are much more nutritionally dense, but they eat bamboo because it makes them high. They're just a bunch of fucking stoner dipshit bears. That's what pandas are. They're the stoners of nature. They're slackers. They don't do shit, and they don't even fuck to save their own species. Fuck pandas. There you go.
Fair enough. They are cute though. I'm not debating about pandas. I know who would win in a fight between Sylvester Stallone and a panda. I mean, obviously Sly would shoot it.
He would with a .50 caliber machine gun. Mikey,
or knock it out like Rocky. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. Mikey.
Yes, Maddox.
Who's your favorite action movie star? Is there anyone we haven't mentioned today? Is it Sylvester Stallone? And why is it Sylvester Stallone?
What's yours, Rekka?
I really used to idolize Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
no, he was a bit before my time.
He's up there.
But fucking Terminator 2, Commando. Oh, fuck, dude, Commando. One man and a whole fucking island full of bad guys.
And for sure, that was back in the day when body counts were a big deal.
Yeah.
Because Commando versus the Rambo movies, they were competing to see who would have the highest body count, which is something we haven't brought up yet, and something that I got to give it up to Stallone for. A lot of those Rambo movies had a very high body count.
Well, so I always felt like Commando was kind of a poor man's Rambo 2. I think Commando came out after, right? And Commando just seemed like everything in the movie was cartoonishly dumb. You know, the machine gun shots and everything were just kind of goofy. And Commando looked better on the cover of the movie and on paper than it did on the silver screen. What do you want to say, Mikey? Do you have your pick?
Yeah. So before I'm castrated on a crucifix, I'm gonna say Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson.
All right.
And Big Mel just came out with a movie that flew under the radar, not in my house, and it's called Bloodfather. And no one knows about it, but I do.
Yeah.
When did Bloodfather come out?
This last year.
Wow.
And
new
Mel
movie.
is still cranking out action movies?
And it's good, man.
Wow.
I like it. And it gets to it's an hour and like 27 minutes. It gets to the point. There's no lag time. And Mel elbows a car window and just shatters it.
That's your example of him
He's
killing
like
it in Bloodfather?
68. John, if you saw this,
but it's
I'm with you on Mel Gibson. I'm a fan of his stuff. I like his action stuff.
If he can do this at 68, cut it in half. I want to see what he's doing at 34. And
we've seen it,
and I love Mel.
Yeah.
We have. That's right. And I'm saying I want to see it right now.
see it.
Oh,
I want to go
again.
watch those movies right now.
What are your favorite Mel movies? The action movies.
I loved Lethal Weapon. I loved
awesome franchise.
Bloodfather.
Bloodfather, that's right. As we mentioned.
Braveheart.
Braveheart.
The Patriot.
I
is
really
another
like
good one. A lot
The
of good kills in The Patriot.
The Patriot's hard to watch for me,
How come?
personally. No, it's just gore front to back. I liked his new war movie too. The
Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh, Hacksaw Ridge
But
was good. I'll
he
give
was-
you that.
I like that too, but he was just the director of it, right?
Yeah, he was the director.
That
Yeah.
he
Are
did
we
a good
counting
job.
directing?
Was
No.
that? No.
No.
We're talking action movie stars.
Yeah.
He did a good job though, making that Andrew Garfield kid not seem like a huge d-bag.
Yeah, that's
I didn't
true.
like him before that movie.
Nobody likes him.
Andrew
right?
Garfield was less douchey after that movie came out. Now, here's the thing, though. Mel Gibson also did that weird-ass Aztec movie. What's it called? Apocalypto.
Yeah.
That was not good.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. It was not a good movie, and it was really hyped up. And I remember, Mikey, you're
I
grinning
don't,
over
but
there.
I know that Mel's made a lot of interesting decisions in his career.
The kid that played the Apocalypto, like the star of that Apocalypto movie, used to train out at the Equinox in Manhattan Beach with me.
Lipnicki?
No. The Apocalypto kid. Lipnicki would destroy that Apocalypto kid.
Yeah,
you kidding me?
he's a brown belt.
Tap him out in 10 seconds.
Shit.
Now, Mel Gibson also had the phenomenal turd Waterworld, which
I didn't see that.
some people defend. I saw Waterworld. Look, when I saw it, I thought it was.
Was that Mel or Kevin Costner?
Oh, maybe that was Kevin.
Yeah.
Was it Kevin
Yeah.
Costner?
Kevin Costner.
It was a turd though, for sure.
Go
All I
ahead.
know about Waterworld is that it sounds like a fun kids movie, and then you watch it, and it's just not what you
It's
expected.
so weird.
No, it's
Over budget. The set sunk.
and it also made Universal Studios unvisitable because they anticipated that it would be such a big hit that they went ahead and put this permanent installation in there.
It's still there. Do you know that?
the
the Waterworld stunt show is still happening. I went.
Yeah.
Man, I went like a few weeks ago. There's do you guys know a wrestler named Christopher Daniels, ROH champion? He plays the lead of that Waterworld stunt show at Universal Studios sometimes when he's not booked.
Oh, ROH. That's the other wrestling that I watch. I think that's what comes up on Comet late at night. Is that ROH
that what you're
wrestling?
talking
That's
about,
what
ROH?
it is. Yeah, it's ROH. That's what it is.
That makes it way funnier.
Yeah.
No, because you were saying you were watching this late night wrestling show.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like there was a lot of people watching it, and it was kind of like a bunch of newer people. And I was like NWA Hollywood, or like what could he be watching? But ROH is a major promotion, and the way that you talked about it made it seem like Tracy Championship Wrestling or Fresno Regional Wrestling Show.
No.
But that's funny that you were talking about Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because the stadium looks nice, the seating looks nice. It's like nice and blue and everything. And then the logo, is like two swoops, right?
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's ROH Wrestling. That's what I'm watching late at night on Comet. And then right before they go to Space Music, which is also something I watch. But anyway, okay, good pick, Mikey. Good pick, Rucka. Good pick, John.
Here's one thing that we haven't talked about, and I'm gonna bring it up. Just because I feel like it needs to be addressed. A good action hero, in my opinion, especially when you're talking about your Schwarzenegger or Stallone, should be bodied out. You know, like Gibson was never nearly as bodied out as Stallone and Schwarzenegger, and Jackie Chan got bodied out in more of a Bruce Lee kind of way, like lean muscle. But if you're talking about like your stereotypical archetype action heroes, that's one thing that I would give to Stallone. I mean, the man has been bodied out, eating his egg whites and chicken breast for the past 40 years. He's still in amazing shape.
Mm-hmm. So was Schwarzenegger is doing all right too when he's not banging his nanny. Schwarzenegger though, I did see a movie the movie that he made right after he stopped being governor of California was such a piece of shit.
Is that like the post-apocalyptic like zombie thing, or Margot or Maggie or something?
Yeah, Maggie or Margot or something like that, where the entire fucking movie was just a commercial for the Ford Mustang, I believe, or the Chevy Charger, one of the cars.
That happens in movies sometimes.
And it was so blatant. It was so bad, John. At one point in the movie, there's a scene where they're trying to chase after him with a helicopter, okay? And so they're in this like high-tech intelligence office, and they're watching him on camera, and they're like, well, can our helicopters catch the car? He goes, I don't know, that's the new Dodge. It's got a 6-cylinder engine, and its top speed is 220 miles per hour. I think our helicopter might be able to catch up, but maybe not. And then
it's
I was
just
like,
such a smooth ride, that Dodge.
Yeah, and they're like, wow, is that the deluxe edition with all the features? Like, it's
just stock. That's a stock version.
It was a straight up car commercial. Left a real sour taste in my mouth. But anyway,
I enjoy stuff like that. But another little tidbit about Schwarzenegger. I did a movie with someone that did the practical effects for Predator, and was telling me all sorts of inside information about Schwarzenegger. And for Predator, he had 2 full-time oil boys or oil staff, and it rotated between like men and women. But at all times, there were 2 people on set whose job it was to grease up Arnold's guns, which I think is a pretty apropos, pretty good thing to say about your action movie hero.
Wait a second. So Sylvester Stallone's a pussy for not wanting to climb out of the Grand Canyon. He wanted to call a helicopter. But Sylvester Stallone's badass...
Oh, no, sorry. I was talking about Schwarzenegger.
Or Schwarzenegger. Yeah, so Sylvester Stallone is a pussy for not wanting to climb out of the Grand Canyon. But then Schwarzenegger's a badass because he's not oiling his own guns. He has an oil boy.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, my own guns,
it's different. Like, I mean, Stallone, I'm sure, has an oil team, don't you think?
Dude, Stallone is like a lame version of Arnold. Everybody knows that.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Although I will give you Predator. Predator is unimpeachable. That is a really great movie.
Terminator, for sure. You can't say much about Terminator.
Terminator's okay.
You don't like Terminator? Oh, come on.
The forgotten gem of Arnold's career is The Running Man. I love that fucking movie.
Good one.
It shows us a vision of a dystopian future. The year is 2007. Everything has gone to shit. And the government and everybody's living out in the street. But there's 2 things about this dystopia that are actually not so bad. For one thing, they made this movie in the 80s. So in this movie, everyone's smoking everywhere. You can smoke anywhere you want.
Cool. Yep.
And also, you can walk right onto an airplane at the airport. You just walk into the airport, you get on the plane like God intended you to do when you go to a fucking airport. So maybe the future promised in The Running Man was not so bad.
They're killing people for sport on game shows, but terrorism is not an issue.
At least you can fly where you're going.
Yeah, in this world. That's what they need to do, is start killing people on game shows, and then terrorism will disappear.
The movie that coined I'll Be Back? Was it I'll Be Back?
Yeah, no, that was Terminator 2. Okay, so my problem with Terminator 2...
But it's first in Running Man. It says, I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Only in a rerun.
Was that made after Terminator 1, though? Because I think Terminator 1 is where I'll be back became his phrase. Then they put it in every movie.
And he started using it.
And then I'll be back.
And then he started doing like the death like one-liners. Like he's killing someone on the ice, like cool off. You know what I mean? Stuff
Cool
like that. He's got a lot on his mind. He shoots him in the head. I don't know.
Yeah. Let off some steam, Bennett.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that the forgotten gem of Arnold's career was Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
And I'm mad you didn't say
it. And it was the last good movie he ever made.
I wouldn't have said anything if you said what you knew.
Yeah, but like historically, there could have never been a Jingle if not for Running Man.
Since Jingle All the Way. Hasn't there been anything? Didn't he make a movie with Sylvester Stallone, that prison movie?
Yeah, it was an abortion. I never saw it, but nobody did either.
It was a letdown.
Well, he was in
Expendables.
Expendables and Expendables 2, which wouldn't exist if it weren't for Stallone. Thank you, Sylvester Stallone.
I'm just glad all those old guys have something to do.
Clearly, Stallone can't afford Jackie for those Expendable movies.
Right.
No, it...
Actually, I'm just kidding. I would love to see Jackie Chan in the Expendables.
He should be. He
so
should
kick-ass.
It's about time.
Have you guys seen footage of Sly directing while acting on the set of Expendables?
No. What's it like?
It's just super impressive. I mean, he's positioning cameras, he's giving everybody acting notes, and he's holding like a gun and a script. He's like, okay, we're gonna mother-daughter over there, like one wide, one here, over there. Let's get that angle. Let's make sure we get a close-up on Terry. Okay, action. Get down. You know what I mean?
Just reloads.
It's cool.
Really
like,
cool.
yeah.
Hey, you know what else is cool? Our new bonus episode.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, let's go.
The show is brought to you by our bonus episode. Guys, it really helps out Madcast Media. It really helps out the show when you purchase that episode from our website. It's also available on iTunes and Amazon. I actually have a call from a listener who wanted to talk about the bonus episode. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox, first-time caller. I just wanted to let you know that my roommate wanted to listen to the new bonus episode, and he didn't want to pay for it. So he asked me for the login, but I'm not going to give it to him because I want him to support you guys. Yeah. So it would be really cool if you could make him douchebag of the week.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for taking my call. Fucking Nazi.
Yeah, fucking Nazi to you, my friend. You know what? That's right.
Yeah.
Your roommate's douchebag of the week.
Yeah.
Cancel that other douchebag of the week.
Yeah.
Your roommate's now the douchebag of the week.
It's a special week. We got 2 douchebags.
Have we ever had 2?
We've had 2 sometimes. We've even had a guest be douchebag of the week in addition to a caller, and I think Rucka was douchebag of the week once.
I think I was.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
I'm not afraid to make anyone douchebag of the week. You watch your thing, Mikey. My finger's on the button.
All right.
You should make Stallone douchebag sometime.
Oh, you know what?
He could be a douchebag of the week.
You know who else? We got another douchebag of the week.
Douchebag of the week.
It's Jackie Chan.
Oh,
Jackie Chan.
no.
That's right. Shots fired.
Wait, there it is. I was going for the button.
Canceled you out.
Vote for Sylvester Stallone on the website,
I'll tell you
guys.
what, whether or not Jackie Chan is a douchebag or whatever his romantic life is, it doesn't affect his stuff in front of the camera while he's doing action movies.
Yeah. Well, look, guys. These are both really great picks. Vote for these on the website, madcastmedia.com. But now it's time for headlines from around the web. We're moving on. Guys, I don't know if you heard about this, but a gay porn studio is under fire for using a didgeridoo as a dildo. You guys hear about this? You probably
Sounds
probably
like a very
wouldn't have.
large. Didgeridoos are large, right?
Yeah, they're big.
It must have warmed up that asshole quite a bit to
Yeah.
get it in.
Yeah, it's a considerable sized instrument. You'll like this quote, John. It says, "I'm gonna didgeridoo you in the ass."
Have you guys ever just meandered in like one of those adult-only stores and looked at the titles of
Yeah, they're fantastic.
of porn movie spin-offs?
They don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
It's just
Like Porn of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of some other good ones. Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about.
yeah, there's so many really good pun ones. And
Cock
sometimes
gobblers.
There we go.
Cock gobbler,
There you
yeah.
go.
That's a Thanksgiving themed.
But the
porno.
ones that are the funniest
Loosely.
are the ones that are like spin-offs of like like blockbuster action movies.
Yeah.
Fist was pretty good.
They didn't even
Starring
change the
Sylvester.
title. Yeah.
Oh, and Sylvester Stallone starred in a porno.
No,
Oh, that's right.
that
That's how we
was-
got started.
No, that's Al Pacino
Both of
No,
them.
both of
Same
them.
porno.
Yeah, same porno.
with a didgeridoo.
They were very progressive.
But that's how That's how we got started, right?
Ahead of their time.
Yeah. So a gay porn studio is being called disrespectful after using a didgeridoo as a dildo in a new scene. Entitled Didgeridoo Me, the men.com scene sees two roommates, with one having recently gotten back from Australia. While they do not go into detail of the frustrations of getting it through customs, his playing wakes up his roommate. Frustrated, his roommate decides to take out his frustration by penetrating his roommate with the instrument. The porn company is now being accused of racism and disrespect to the Australian Aboriginal community for being culturally offensive.
Oh shit.
Huh.
That's right.
Yep.
Strange cause to take on.
You can hold a didgeridoo. You can put it to your lips. You can put it to your eye, your nose. But the second you touch it to your ass, racist.
I have some advice for the social justice community. Fucking let loose, do your thing, you will win. However, you need to stay away from porn and stay away from video games. Stay away from those two things, and Maddox will stay out of your fucking business. But
What does this have to do with me?
fuck with porn and video games, and the whole fucking world will turn on you. That's my only advice.
Do you guys ever think, like, I've been thinking about like in this way a lot of times with regard to promotion. Would you put it past that porn company from starting the own lawsuit against them just for the publicity?
I could see that. I was thinking that too, John, because this was on a gay news website. A fan sent this to me on Twitter, and as soon as I saw this, it smelled to me like a PR piece.
They've gotta been using didgeridoos as dildos and things before in porn movies. Like they've used everything. Like
but our culture is
dildo
changing.
chucks and bow staffs and guitars and other sorts of instruments.
Well, no one ever used to talk about cultural appropriation because it's the dumbest idea on the planet. So the world has changed. They don't have to fake it, the controversy.
Yeah, well, it could
But
be.
if they do fake the controversy, it gets we're talking about now on the probably the most popular podcast in America.
That's true.
It is. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So it might have been fake. I'm not saying it couldn't have been, but
anyway.
Well, the reason people believe it is because this shit is not unbelievable. It happens. I mean, it's out there.
Yeah, it's a sad state of our culture that
could
this
be
could
a
be
really
a believable
good
story.
PR move for the didgeridoo me peeps.
Well, here's another story. This is from New York Daily News. This is an amazing story. A tennis match was interrupted by a nearby couple having very loud sex.
Ooh.
You guys hear about this? A Sarasota Open match between Francis Tiafoe and Mitchell Kruger was interrupted multiple times recently due to a couple nearby having loud sex. At first, announcer Mike Katian assumed that the racket was coming from a spectator's cell phone, and it was an adult video. But a few moments later, the noises got even louder. That's when Katian and everyone else on hand realized what was really happening. And I have a clip of it here. I tried to amplify the sound so you can hear them, but listen to this. This is This is the sex sounds during the tennis match.
Okay.
Has Stamford in a deficit situation. Well, that is
good for them.
Yeah,
the most
for
bizarre situation. I don't know how to put this, folks, but somebody's phone going off in the stands.
And I guess
does he believe that?
It's clearly more entertaining than the tennis.
He thought that was what was happening, Mikey. What were you saying, John?
The sex is more entertaining than the tennis, right?
Oh, yeah. Talk about it
people
back
are popping
and forth,
for the sex sounds.
Yeah. Listen to this. It goes on, and then one of the tennis players finally chimes in on it near the end of this clip. Listen to this.
Okay.
Head up at home.
30-15.
I still hear it. It's still going. What is going on?
Can't be that good.
Yes, that's awesome.
That was the frustrated tennis player because everyone's concentration was thrown off.
This is another one for me. I don't know, but if that was a tactic by like the guy who didn't freak out the other tennis player to distract the competition, genius.
Oh, that'd be
I hope so.
Incredible move. But so I found out that this tennis court was across from a lake, and the lake has like a hotel where visitors stay and things like that. If you've ever been at a really
all the way
quiet,
across from a lake?
Yes, and you'd be surprised how well sound travels across a lake. I remember one time I went fishing with my dad, and I was standing at the edge of a lake, really, really big one.
Yeah.
And I just, speaking room tone to my dad, said, "Hey, I need to take a leak." And a guy across the lake yells at me. He goes, "Go ahead, no one's looking."
Yes.
Sound travels across the lake like crazy. So I think that's what happened. It was just, didn't even have to be that loud.
No, I mean that. I love weird social situations like that. And if I was at that tennis match, I'd probably be the most memorable tennis match I've ever seen.
Yeah. John, before we conclude, is there anything you'd like to plug?
So, for any information about me, you can follow me on Twitter at @TheRealMorrison, on Instagram at John Hennigan, on Facebook, John Morrison, the real one, not the fake one. There's a lot of fakes and I don't know how to tell the difference.
Right.
Boone the Bounty Hunter Facebook is going to give you a lot of information about Boone the Bounty Hunter. The movie Boone the Bounty Hunter is out now on Amazon, iTunes, Vudu, Xbox, Google Play, etc., and tons of on-demand digital platforms. It comes out on DVD June 6th. Spent about 5 years on this movie, and it's worth it. The reaction that I've been getting from people are that they've been entertained and really happy with watching this movie. So if you're a fan of wrestling or action movies, if you think the things that I've done in the wrestling ring are crazy, you need to see Boone, because the stuff that I do in this movie is crazier than ever. The rest of the cast kills it. Rampage Jackson, Osric Chow from Supernatural, Spencer Grammer, Kelsey's daughter, Lorenzo Lamas, Kevin Sorbo, Jonathan Lipnicki, and tons and tons and tons of cool cameos. The other thing that I want to mention is I am the current champion of Lucha Underground. It's on the El Rey Network. We've been on hiatus, and Season 3 resumes on the El Rey Network on May 31st. The first match back is Johnny Mundo, the mayor of Slamtown, versus Willie Mack, who's a ridiculously talented wrestler from here he's from Compton, from South Central.
Hell yeah.
And we have an all-night long match. I don't know if you know what that means.
No,
but
what is that?
We wrestle the entire episode, and whoever gets the most pinfalls wins. And it's one of the matches I'm most proud of in my career. So I recommend people watching that. Catch up on Lucha Underground on Netflix. Seasons 1 and 2 are now available. And download this podcast, although if you're listening to this, you probably already have.
Yeah. And he was saying, John was saying before the show, he can't get enough of that bonus episode too.
Yeah,
He's
John,
listening to it on repeat.
He's
now.
bought
Oh man, I came up with some ideas for bonus episodes. That's what I was writing down in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
got
talk
some
about
ideas.
that. Yeah, absolutely. So John, and you also have this new merchandise and this new line of merchandise.
Oh
right?
yeah. I don't know if you're watching this on video, check it out. That's what it is. If you're listening to this, this is something I've been calling Forbidden Red Carpet Fanny Packs. It's the Lucha Underground World Championship on a gold fanny pack. It's a fashion statement. It's functional. We're bringing 80s pro wrestling back right now. Be a part of the movement and get one of these fanny packs.
Hell yeah. John, thank you so much for coming on the show. Good luck with Boone. Thank you, Rucka Ali.
Yep.
First hand on staff. Thank you, Swagmaster Mikey Bolts.
Thank you.
But most of all, you're welcome.
Oh, Maddox, this is the one and only Macho Man Randy Savage. The debate this week was a very peculiar topic because I have a very special story. One time my grandma told me that her and my grandfather got a divorce because she went up into the bedroom and he was getting his dick sucked by none other than Kevin Smith. Yep. Kevin Smith is single-handedly responsible for destroying the beautiful marriage my grandparents possessed. I don't think that's a cool thing at all, brother. Anyway, long-time fan, I like what you guys are doing. Keep up the good work. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that Macho Man impression was on half speed. What do you think of that impression, Mikey?
All you women out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you anti-Kevin Smith listeners, stop leaving voicemails and start voting. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith lost in a landslide.
Yeah, well, maybe next time. Maybe they'll pay more attention to the voting next time.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to vote. Every vote counts.
Every vote counts, you know.
Right.
As we all know now.
Yeah, as we all know. Here's another caller. Listen to this. This is about Michelle Bachmann's husband, who a lot of people speculate is gay, but we don't know. But this caller has another rumor. Listen to this.
Yo, Maddox, I'm so glad you guys brought up Michelle Bachmann's husband. Because check it out, I got this crazy story. When I was in college, I had this roommate, right, who was, I don't know, his family had ties to the Republican Party, kind of a big hotshot. He always got invited to all these Republican conventions and stuff. He had a grandmother, and she walked in on her husband getting his dick sucked by Michelle Bachmann's husband, right? Now, here's the kicker. Bono was also there, and he was licking his asshole. Not his own asshole. That doesn't make any sense, but it's fucking crazy, man. I'm glad you guys brought him up.
Yeah. Wow.
Way to
Bono.
go.
Sounds like similar to how that show Brockmire starts, huh? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No, what's Brockmire?
Ooh, you got to check it out. It's amazing. Hank Azaria's new show.
Huh.
So good.
Starts out with Bono licking someone's asshole?
Not Bono specifically, but assholes and dildos and sex parties and stuff.
Sounds like, great show.
Yep.
Here's another caller. Listen to this. This guy's got a little bit of he's got a theory about yours truly. We'll see.
You watch what? Degrassi? Dude, Maddox. I called you about this once before, dude. You need to come out of the fucking closet already. All right? Everyone fucking knows you're gay. Okay? No one cares. Just come out of the fucking closet. Okay? It was already decided. Everybody already knows. But the fucking kite thing definitely cemented you as being gay. But now, this Degrassi thing.
John, do you think kites are gay? They're not
kites.
Yeah,
flying kites. No, I mean I don't think you can say any sort of thing is gay.
Yeah, that's right. Because kites are super fun, and it's a great thing to do on dates, and I stand behind that. And then all these callers called in out of nowhere, shitting on the magnanimous Maddox, saying, "Oh, kites are gay," and then you got these like hicks saying that they shoot kites out of the sky.
I'm on your side with this.
How are kites gay? It's like
it's like a celebration of aerodynamics.
Yeah. They have this like early 80s image of gay guys just doing like queer stuff. Like gays dress nice and eat at fancy restaurants.
Right.
They don't fly kites.
They eat Dominoes. And then they
eat at Domino's. Yeah.
Hey there. Don't forget to subscribe to Madcast shows on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Okay, bye. Madcast Media Network.